Finally.
Feels good to be underway?
Yeah, it feels really good. We've been waiting for good weather for so long. I feel like this coast has been pummeled. For like the past couple months. It's been brutal. On top of that, there's the COVID, but we're making a break for it. Looks like we got a few days, right?
A couple days. The wind's going to be, it'll be brisk, but it'll be on our back. So I'd love to run with it for a while.
Yes, and this is going to be an overnighter. So we're doing a little bit over 100 nautical miles.
Yeah, we were going to go into Garibaldi, but tides weren't working with us. We would have had to hit Garibaldi in the middle of the night, and that's
kind of a tricky bar to get into. There's a lot of shoaling, a lot of shallow areas, so not recommended to go in, especially at night if you're not really familiar with the area. We've been in a couple times, but it's been a while. It's been a while, so I'd rather go to a bigger port.
So we're going to run all the way down to Newport, 110 nautical miles, and we should hit that tomorrow morning.
Oh, this feels so good. We got our main. Time to get sailing.
We're in the Columbia River for the next 2 hours. We're actually traveling north right now into the wind. As soon as we hit the mouth, we'll be able to hang a left and drop the engines and raise the sails. Okay, we're getting close to the mouth of the Columbia. This is Cape Disappointment. It's Fort Canby up on the cliff there. And the sea state is not too bad. Looked at the bar conditions and we're good to go to cross the bar.
So we just crossed the mouth of the Columbia Bar, and it got a little choppy for a little bit. It was about 4 to 6 foot waves, but it got pretty steep right there as we were crossing over. But it's starting to flatten out, and once we pass a couple of these markers, then we can turn and start heading south. I'm hopeful that the rest of the day and into the night will be just as pleasant. So fingers crossed. I'm just hoping that this overnight passage won't be as bad as the last one we had, which was when we hit the log.
I don't think I'm going to sleep much tonight. Okay, we got a log up under us right now. We collided with a 40-foot log.
We're going to keep an eye out for crab traps or pots, and just hopefully we don't have that. If there is a lot of pots out there, then we'll probably go further out before heading south. What do you think?
I think that's something we'll make the decision once we get out here. Looking at the AIS, it looks like it's mostly salmon fishermen out here right now. I haven't seen a crab pot. Well, we saw one in the river, but haven't seen one out here yet. But we are still in the channel, so time will tell. Well, we took the corner. We're heading south, killed the engines. Just light winds out here right now, but we're doing about 6 knots. First time ever, we have the jib, the new jib and the main up. Feels good, feels real good. We're just gonna drift on down the coast. We can't go much more than 5 knots because we'll hit our next port in the dark. I'm trying to time it for daybreak. So if we pick up too much speed, we're gonna have to drop that main.
It's kind of funny because if I go in the direction that we should be going, we get a decent speed, but if we just change the angle just by 5 degrees, I can get like a knot, a little bit over a knot, and it gets more and more the more I point out, and I really want to do it, but it's probably not the most comfortable swell hitting us on our beam, so I guess I'm just gonna have to be patient and go at a slower speed.
Sacrifice that knot for comfort, baby.
It's so fun to go fast.
sun's gonna be going down soon. It's been a nice sunny day most of the day, but don't let it fool you. It's been chilly out here. You know, we had a nice sail so far. We had the main up and jib up. Haven't needed to start the engine since we crossed the bar. It's been beautiful. The winds were probably 10 to 15 all day long, and we were maintaining speeds around 6 to 7 knots. But they've picked up a little bit in the last hour or two. We are now hitting 15 to 20s, so we dropped the main and we had to reef in our head sail. Probably only have 50% of our jib up now because we're going just a little too fast. We don't want to hit our destination at low tide in the middle of the dark. So by doing this, we've dropped our speed to about 5 knots, and we'll hit Newport about 8 o'clock in the morning. Looking forward to it. Should be a chilly night though. Well, we made it through the night. Pretty blustery night. Winds picked up around 11 o'clock to about 25, gusting to 30, and it held it for four plus hours. We took shifts throughout the night, but Lynn sure took the bulk of them. She is much better at the night shifts than I am. I would do the little short ones, and she'd power through the longer ones. Quite the trooper. We had to reef in our jib during that high wind just to a small handkerchief, and we were just doing on that sail about 7+ knots, probably touched 8s and 9s once in a while. Seas were building, starting to flatten out now, so we've pulled the jib back out and we're scooting along at 5.5 knots. Still have it reefed in quite a bit though. We're almost there. We'll be entering the Yaquina River system into Newport here in 12.4 miles. So it looks like we'll time this perfectly. The sun will be up. We'll have a good visibility of the bar. There are no restrictions right now, so that's good. And the wind has died down. That's even better. $8 a.m. Perfect. Gotta love it. The sun's out, the wind's dying down, and we're powering across the bar, and we should be tucked into Newport here in a half an hour.
So cool.
Here we are, Newport. Cute little place. It was just dead calm when we rolled in here. We had a little breakfast, relaxed for about an hour. Actually took a little nap. When I woke up, the wind started. It's supposed to be blowing 20, 25 again today. It's starting to go already. But that's okay. We're in a nice, quiet place for tonight.
We are celebrating because we had another successful passage with our respective vices.
Mine is a little whiskey.
And I got my rosé.
I got my Whoppers.
So cheers to an awesome 110 nautical miles. I think we did pretty good.
Basic really spread her wings. We got the jib and the main up, and we just scooted along, and it was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
No trauma, no issues, just straight, clean sailing.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I slept the entire time.
You did.
When we're underway, I don't have very many responsibilities. Like, my only job is to take care of myself and compass.
But you know that's going to change.
Yes. He doesn't do very much, but he does really want me to hold him all the time, and he does get a little seasick. He hasn't gotten his sea legs yet, and we mostly sleep, and I'm okay with that.
Looks like Compass is celebrating with us.
I know. Go ahead, eat your dinner.
There is a reason why we celebrate after every passage here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, because let's face
It's
it.
a big celebration every single time.
Yes. The Washington, Oregon, and Northern California coast, I mean, let's face it, you don't see a lot of day sailors out there.
No, you don't.
In the last few months, we have yet to see anybody that went out there for pleasure. It just doesn't happen.
So, it's great sailing in Puget Sound. And
north.
And Victoria Island.
And then from San Francisco south.
Yes.
But in between...
Yes, there is this like black hole of an area that people don't really talk about. And that is the Pacific Northwest.
It is a rugged coast filled with... How do you explain it? There isn't any anchorages. Well, actually, I did hear of one anchorage. We talked to one sailor that anchored behind Destruction Island for a night.
Okay, let's
but
stop
he said
here.
it had to be perfect conditions.
Okay, first off, I never want to anchor off Destruction Island. Okay?
I know.
The point of the fact that they named it Destruction Island...
I know.
...tells a big story. And then you have...
So, Jerry, you can anchor there all you want. But I looked at it as we went by. There's no way in hell I'm anchoring there.
And... You know, the Columbia Bar. They call it the graveyard. I mean, there are some very dangerous bars along the Pacific Northwest.
And you know what? If you Google the most life-threatening or dangerous bar in the world, the Columbia River comes up. That is number one.
It does. So there's a lot of factors when we set our sail plan. We can't just go. Number one, there are no safe harbors for us to tuck into if there was bad weather, which most of the time it is bad weather. But
when it's bad weather, the bars are up. So it is, I know, I tend to be a little cautious.
A lot cautious.
But that's for a reason. Once we get further south, I tend to relax a bit and we are a little more mobile. But for now, we're looking for the right weather windows. And you know, we hit one yesterday. Well, kind of. It was lumpy, but you know what? We made it, and it was fine.
I'm a little bit more lenient about that. I can kind of handle a lot more. The biggest factor is obviously Emma. We don't want to scare her in the first beginnings of our travels, you know, with this coast. I want her to have a good experience. Well, we want her to have a good experience.
And I want to have a good experience.
Yes, and you know, there are so many factors. There are tides that we have to think about.
Yes. Winds.
There are winds.
The swell.
The sea
waves,
state.
How close the waves are together.
You know, and then the fact that we want to go from port to port to experience and kind of, you know, see the sights.
So there's a lot of timing involved.
You know, there's a lot of time. I guarantee you there are not people out there along the Washington, Oregon coast just leisurely sailing.
No, as a matter of fact,
for the day.
You know, I've been watching that. Since we've been sailing down the coast for the past few months, we have yet to meet one other sailboat or see another sailboat out there that wasn't a hired captain just moving the sailboat from point A to point B.
And usually it's from Seattle to San Diego
or San Francisco.
Or San Francisco.
Right, and they are just, it's all business, no pleasure. There is very little pleasure in sailing this coast right now. But, well, you know,
it's still beautiful.
Right, the summer is coming up on us, and the sea state will calm down, and it's going to be a little more leisurely for us. So we'll be a lot more mobile here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and then the other thing is insurance. You know, insurance companies do not want you to travel from between, I guess, October to late June along this coast.
Yeah, and
you know, we had to actually pay for extra riders to travel during this time.
And there's probably a reason for that.
There's probably a reason for that, but it's just not fun. I mean, you try to make as much fun as you can, but you know, it
is what it is.
It's cold.
So, honey, here we go.
This, I think, is my 3rd glass.
It's okay. It's okay today.
I did all the night watches.
You did well.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Onboard Lifestyle. I am so excited to be sailing again and exploring more as we sail south along the Pacific coast. If you like this video, please remember to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Special thanks to our patrons. You guys are awesome and we love you. Please remember to send us pictures of you and your SBB gear so we can share it at the end of our videos. I am working on new graphics soon. Come back next week to see another awesome video. See you then!